Recently coming from the corporate world, I know what it feels like to work long hours for a career which eventually started to feel like a job. I continue to hear from my friends and past colleagues the daily struggles of the nonstop grind. Some have way too much work with a shortage of hiring necessary help. Others are experiencing a shift in responsibilities. This isn't what I signed up for challenges. And some have been laid off, looking for their next role. What they all have in common is an internal struggle of sorts with external and ego narratives drowning out their own internal compass. It's important to recognize what kind of role you are in so that you can manage the position and expectations appropriately. Hi, I'm Regina C. Minier, ex-corporate pharma leader turned entrepreneur. In 2009, I decided to take a big leap into the unknown and embarked on a journey to following my intuition, or what I now call my inner authentic voice. Through all the lessons learned, I have taken my personal and professional journey and created a simple roadmap to find your true north through the power of your own inner authentic voice. By using these tools and practices, you'll discover fulfillment, joy, and reassurance in making your own life's important decisions. It is no coincidence we have found each other. Hello, 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 friends of O Universe. Welcome back to this week's vlog. Before we jump into today's topic, if you're someone looking to connect with like-minded female professionals to find support and community with finding your true north or what you're born to do and be, then come join our free Facebook community at Hello O Universe. Today's topic is on knowing whether you're in a career, job, vocation, or hobby. What's the difference? And why is it important to know? Well, a good friend of mine forwarded a 9-minute video from 2017 of Elizabeth Gilbert, author known for her Eat, Pray, Love, and Big Magic book, describing the difference between what is a hobby, a vocation, a job, and a career. What I've discovered is that her descriptions have helped me and many other of my colleagues understand the roles they are in so that they can adjust their emotions accordingly, how they feel about their role, set appropriate expectations, and better yet, identify exactly what's missing and then seek out solutions. As writer Dani Shapiro says, once you can put language around what you are experiencing, it's so much better. For me, it feels much more settling, comforting, and organizes you in such a way that you can have direction and purpose again. So, for all my viewers who may feel stuck right now where they're at and have this like inner voice or that nudge telling them, not this, there's something else, or I know I'm made for more, but you're not sure which way to go or what to do next, and you're constantly hearing the chatter of your ego narrative, also known as your egon, filling your internal dialogue with like fear-based, self-limiting thoughts that create self-doubt and uncertainty, then this episode is for you. Here is how Liz Gilbert describes hobby, job, career, and vocation. Please note, I am paraphrasing how she describes the four. To get the full Elizabeth Gilbert wonderful experience, I recommend you watch the original video clip. Okay, let's start with a hobby. A hobby is something that you do purely for pleasure. It's something you do so you're not just like a robot consuming and paying bills and waiting to die, as Liz puts it. You don't have to make money or get famous from your hobby, and no one needs to even know about your hobby. It's just for you to have fun, enjoy, and do something creative. It helps you so your life is not just about like the daily grind, right? A hobby could be gardening, painting, writing, reading, cycling, playing tennis, just to name a few. Okay, so that's a hobby. Now, a job is something you do need to have because we need to live in the material world. A job is to pay for your cost of living. There is the material world and the artistic, creative, spiritual world. This is the contract we make as a mature adult, which is to be able to pay your bills and to not be a burden to your family or to society. It's not about waiting around for someone to come save you or be your sugar daddy or sugar mommy for that matter. The great thing about having a job is that it doesn't have to be great and fabulous. It's fee for service. You provide a service and then you get paid for that service. Then you're done. Your job doesn't have to be your whole life. Your life can be outside of your job. Okay, so that's a job. Now, what's a career? Well, you do not have to have a career. A career is a job that you love and you're willing to like work extra hours and go above and beyond, and you believe in the mission and you just like, you love it, right? If you are in a career and you hate it, that's terrible. Then just go get a job to pay the bills and find something else that you love. You should love your career, as Elizabeth Gilbert puts it. If not, don't have one because you're grinding yourself out for nothing. It's not necessary. You may ask if Egon is driving you to continue in a career that is not fulfilling you. So that's a career. Okay, so now what is a vocation? Vocation is the holiest, most sacred, most amazing, most mystical of them all, per Liz Gilbert. And I completely agree with her because I've experienced exactly what she has described. It is a calling, a divine invitation. It is the voice of the universe in your ears saying, I want you. I want to use your talent for this thing, to create something, to make this thing, to create a story. And it's actually a Latin word for a calling. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody can give it to you. But somebody can take your job and career from you. But nobody can ever take your vocation from you, as Liz puts it. So, the reason I bring this up is that many of us define our lives with our careers, and when that isn't going so well, it's very important to get very clear with what you are doing. You may be experiencing a change in your career, new roles and responsibilities, things you didn't sign up for that were given to you, or maybe you were, get this, voluntold to pick up extra projects, or some of you are living through a company-wide reorg, or maybe your company went through a merger and people may be losing their roles or careers or jobs. Getting very clear on what role you are in and what you want to do is important in aligning your expectations, your behaviors, and your emotions. Now, this is where the getting still and tapping into your IAV or your inner authentic voice comes into play, because it can help you gain some clarity on your true north and how to make decisions with clarity and just peace of mind about your career, your job, or your vocation. Okay, so let me share a personal story. I had a career for 20 years after 9 years of schooling and training. My career was a clinical pharmacist taking care of patients. Then it was in the pharmaceutical industry. Then it started to transition into a job as I began to hear that whisper in my ear, the one Liz Gilbert calls your vocation. The whisper of the universe and my own inner authentic voice kept saying, you are to do something else. There is something else waiting for you. Focus on developing your intuitive sense is what my inner authentic voice said. The whisper actually lasted for 8 years before I figured out, oh, universe. It took me a long time. But now that I have the tools, the understanding, and the language, things move much faster. Decisions are clearer. And I'm in the knowing that I'm headed in the right direction towards my true north and what I was born to do. So now I've traded my career in the corporate world into a job as a consultant back into the pharma corporate world so that I have time and resources to focus on my vocation, my calling to build a universe and empower other women to find their true north. Eventually, I would love to develop O Universe into my career, but if not, I'm finding the most joy in fulfilling my vocation, and I still have my consulting job. So for you, it is important to ask, what role are you in now, and treat it accordingly. If you somehow, your career has become more of an unfulfilling job that you are treating like a career, then it is important to pause and recognize that and change your behavior accordingly. Provide the service of the job and seek fulfillment elsewhere. I have many colleagues who've started new positions in their career only to find the department or organization has shifted, and what they signed up for no longer is available. The internal struggle is real. The resentment and self-loathing kicks in, and the person feels miserable. It's important to recognize how you feel. Grieve the loss of the career if that's the case, which now has become a job, and tap into your own inner authentic voice to help guide you on your next steps. So, to learn more about finding your true north through the power of your own inner authentic voice, go to my website, o-universe.com, and check out the free guide at the bottom of the page. If you would like to step into the flow of what's available to you now, feel free to drop a note below, or better yet, join our free Facebook community to engage with kindred spirits at Hello O Universe. The link is on my website, ouniverse.com. Until next time, love and light to you all.